Didn't see you there. Ah, oh, hello. I've spoilt the surprise now as well. Oh. Welcome welcome all to another exciting installment of The Little Massive, with me, your host, and, I would say co-pilot, Commander Little, but, Commander Jack Little, but, Commander Jack Little, but I'm the commander, but we're doing something a little new today. We're doing something a little new. It's going to be possibly a little bit rough around the edges, because new format, we've got to find our way through it. But, yes, you've caught me, absolutely, on a flight, and I'm just making sure that all my audio is working. Desktop audio is not, so let's get that going. Capture card audio is not working. Well, this is a good start. Let's blame Windows updates again. Hang on. Be right with you. I'll tell you what. We'll run. We've got a very expensive title sequence that we spent a lot of time on. So we'll play that while I get this sorted. I'm still here, aren't I? Yes, hang on.
"23 Skidoo.
We're in business class. See what I did there? I made it about planes. Ooh. Ooh. Right. Well, we're taxiing already. We're taxiing already.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, hello.
at this time, the forward entry door is closed.
Oh.
All large electronic devices should now be shut off and stowed. And all small portable electronic devices must be set to airplane mode. Make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright.
Okay,
line
but I've not got my seatbelt.
and that your seatbelt is correctly fastened. Should you have any difficulty with this, please ring your call button.
Yep.
Flight attendant will guide you through the process.
So the
If you've not yet done so, please
Yes.
carry on luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin, taking care not to force any item into a
Yep,
space that
okay,
is too small
okay.
for it. Then please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
what I love about taking
If
these.
you are seated in an emergency
Yeah.
exit row, carefully read the safety information card located in your seat back pocket. If you do not wish, are unable, or are unwilling to perform the functions described in the event of an emergency, a flight attendant will reseat you. We
what?
remind you
No.
this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is prohibited on the entire aircraft,
Yeah.
including the laboratories. Tampering
The
with
laboratories?
or destroying the laboratory smoke detectors is prohibited by
There's a
law.
there's a.
Please note that e-cigarettes are not a loophole to this regulation.
What I love about.
If you have any questions about today's flight, please feel free to ask a flight attendant. Thank you.
What I love about taking these commercial flights is that you never know who you're going to be sat with, are you? You know, it's a little bit risky. It's a little bit of risk, but who can say? Who could say? Now, I believe somebody is sitting next to me today. Oh,
Please
good
direct
grief!
your attention to the seatback monitors
Yep.
ahead of you for a video demonstrating the
Okay.
safety features of this aircraft. We recognize some of you may be frequent travelers.
Yep.
This information is important, and we ask for your undivided attention at this time.
Sounds a bit chippy. So, yes. Who could it be? Who could it be that's sitting next to me today on this particular flight? I think this is them coming now.
Excuse me. Yes, coming through. Oh, put that away. Pardon. Yep, there. Is this mine? Yep.
Oh, hello.
Oh, it's mine. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Hang on.
We know you have many other choices, from regional carriers
Just going to turn you up a bit, I think,
national airlines.
because I'm not sure.
You chose us. And
I'm not sure how audible you are.
Thank you so much.
Apologies. I may have been.
Hang on.
Pay attention to the following safety videos.
Late boarding. I know. Oh, actually,
If you haven't done so already, please fasten your
this is why it's important to do a full,
To accomplish this, simply follow these simple steps. First,
a full test, isn't it? A full tech test.
You can easily identify this part of the seatbelt by the square hole.
So did you? How did you find boarding, Jez?
Up the buckle.
Well, it was quite a kerfuffle at the back of the plane there.
Keeping both
Yeah.
ends
Rather,
perfectly aligned.
some rather ambitious passenger with duty-free sprawled across the aisle. I couldn't get through, and of course,
To tighten the strap,
late,
find the
as it
end
were.
strap and pull.
Hang on. I need to balance me things. Hang on.
To release your seatbelt in the event you need to leave your seat.
Ah, that's
find the
better.
top of the
That's
buckle.
better.
Once you
I think I can hear you now.
lift it up.
Ah, excellent. Sorry, I had my head deep in my carry-on luggage. I couldn't find my
Fair
AirPods.
enough. Fair enough. I always like it how you're allowed to bring dead bodies with you on these flights.
Oh,
Very,
it's-
very handy.
it really is. You don't find service like it elsewhere, really, do you?
No. And I've got some friends along with me on this flight, by the way.
Oh yes.
We've got
Please switch
we've got Merlin Mel, we've got M. Kearns, we've got Jean Bellow. You know Jean Bellow.
failure to do so
So,
will lead to a potentially
Millstone Barn. They're handing out gin. I didn't realise it was that sort of flight. Boss Lady B. Excellent work.
Smoking on the aircraft at any time. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the lavatory may result in a fine.
I'm really intrigued by the fact that they've got laboratories on here.
Yes,
I don't think I've ever been on a plane with a laboratory on before.
in the seat back pocket.
it'll never take off.
Note the
Hey, it'll never take off. Well, we appear to be taxiing. You're sitting just there, by the way.
Use the safety
Ah, yes.
Just there, yeah. So, well, it's
in the front and rear of the
oh, we've stopped taxiing.
An evacuation.
This is fine.
The emergency
So this is the first. Let's get the first joke out of the way. This is the first time that we're trying this out. It's a sort of a chat format that I've been wanting to do for a little while. Like the idea of a chat show that has a sort of a frame like this one. And because it's the first one we're doing,
And restaurants.
because it's I'm laughing already because I know what the punchline is. This is the pilot. This is the pilot. This is the pilot. Oh, it's good to get that. It's good to get that out. Oh, we get a lull in chat there.
You've been sitting on that joke all week.
I have. I've been keeping the old powder dry on that one. Oh, look, Donald Duck's helping with your breathing there on the monitor. Good. Now.
Oh,
Life vests can be
Oh,
found
life vests. They used to call them May Wests, back in the day. Do you remember that?
May Wests.
Yeah.
behind your seat.
Which I think was 50% rhyming slang and 50% joke about
Once you are safely outside
busty
the
substances.
hold on the tab to inflate your vest.
Certainly my favourite Batman.
Manually using
Well, May West. Very
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Very
that's,
much. There's a road in Edinburgh called which called West Adam Lane. I think it is, or West Adam Street. And I always like to think of it as being Man Bat Street. That's my little private name for it. Yes. So how have you been, Jez? I understand you've recently relaunched your stream.
Yes, I have. I've relaunched a stream, would you believe it, into a commercial airline theme.
Really? Well,
And
that makes you the perfect inaugural guest.
Yes, I mean, it feels... this feels like research as much as it is, a lovely 2 hours trip. I never asked, where are we going?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, we're going to
this is your speaking.
JHS. JHZ.
It's our distinct pleasure.
That's where we're
yes.
going.
Board
Actually, I think
Atlantic flight 708 with non-stop service to Howard.
we'll bring a map up. We'll bring a map up soon, which will show us the
Okay.
journey. It's a 2 hours and 5 minutes flight.
Hours, maybe a little
Okay.
over. We'll be cruising.
We've got an Australian
35
pilot,
minutes
which is
of
slightly worrying.
And
Oh.
traveling about 575
Oh.
miles per hour. I'll be
I'm
back in touch.
I'm a little
I've got
bit,
any more updates for you on
little bit
route.
anxious on flights.
For now,
This is my favourite bit, but it's also my least favourite bit. Because it is, it's odd. It's just this strange little anxiety that overcomes me. Now, you used to live in America, didn't you?
Yes. Lived right in the middle, Kansas, the
Kansas.
home of many Boeing and Cessna
Can
and
I-
Raytheon
folks,
plants.
it's only,
Can I say it, Jess? Can I say it?
Yeah, go on then.
You're not in Kansas anymore, are you? Hey! Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. It just relieves the tension to say these things out loud sometimes, doesn't it?
It does, and I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it either.
Oh, really? Good.
I've literally never heard that before.
Marvellous.
But,
Marvellous.
yeah, there's no place like home.
Oh, no, we've... I thought we were about to take off there, but we're not. I think we've just taxied into position. So did you... middle of... Did you do a lot of flying when you were over there? Because I know America's a big place, and you've got to get around if you're going to get around. And I know there's a lot of sort of intra-continental flying that goes on. So were you airborne a lot?
Well, I wasn't born in the air, but
No, that would be silly.
I was. I mean, turboprops quite common in Kansas because being in the middle of the country, it was quite a common connection point. So
Yeah.
I was a passenger in many a plane. Sometimes window seats, sometimes on the aisle, sometimes in the middle. No one wants to be in the middle.
I think you're in the middle today.
Well, it's a sacrifice I'm making for you.
Ah, I appreciate that. And thank
Did
you
you know
again.
it's a-
Thank you for being the guinea pig as well, I should say.
Absolutely. But if you see the stewardesses come past, don't draw attention to the fact I'm being a rebel. I'm not even watching the airline safety video.
Good lord.
And turned it off.
Turned it off.
I'm a rebel.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the worst comes to the worst, I'll make sure to fit hang on. They said not to do that, didn't they? I'll make sure to fit my gas mask on and then help you with yours. There.
Oh, lovely.
In line with correct procedures. You can always bone up at your leisure on the safety instructions in front of you. How do you know where the nearest exit that may be behind you is? Asks Crispy Tater Tot. I think the nearest exit is illuminated there. I can't quite turn my head because this is a very hello.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is it. You can feel it in your stomach, can't you?
You can. Oh, there's another plane in front of us, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're queuing. So yeah, we're flying from New York to somewhere else. But I'm not sure where. Doesn't tell me.
Is this one of those flights because we can't look over our shoulder? Do we have to pay extra for that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We should. I think we should as well. We should probably make up some stories about the other passengers at some point. We can get onto that later. So, what led to this reinvention, WK Jez, of your stream as a commercial airliner?
Well, when it comes to playing in Elite Dangerous, some people in the chat may have heard of that game. I've always enjoyed flying the cruise ships, the belugas particularly, and because I've always had a little sound effect on my board that sounds like an airline announcement on the PA.
The bing bongs.
Yeah, I figured, why not build around the bing bong?
It's I know as a frequent I was going to say frequent flyer there, but they're getting ahead of ourselves. But a frequent visitor to your stream, I've always enjoyed your bing bongs. I've always enjoyed those little moments, and there is something about that sort of PA sound treatment that's strangely comforting, isn't it? I'm not quite sure what it is. Sometimes in Elite Dangerous, where you get there are certain points in stations where you're getting kind of the same audio from different points, so it's just got that little sort of PA reverb. It's always I don't know. It's always strangely pleasing.
Well, one of my first ever jobs in the real world, true story. I have to preface that because some of the stories may not be true tonight, but I used to work in Sainsbury's, and back in the
supermarket.
The supermarket, yeah. So around mid-late 90s, they always had the obnoxious chimes, and when I got to press the button and the chimes, the rush you get when that chime goes in.
Yeah.
You're going to forget what you say. Your 5 minutes of fame is up before it even begins.
Yeah. And it's just that knowledge that everyone of a particular mindset is going to be listening to every word as you announce the discovery of a lost child or a once-in-a-lifetime discount on frozen peas.
If you get the P announcement wrong,
I think this is it.
You're for the eye job.
I think this is it. Joe Show, thank you very much for that host. We got some. Sorry,
Prepare for takeoff.
in the midst of our technological issues, we missed a few things. M Curtains has gifted 5 subs to Shanine's S. I nearly gave Shanine's surname away there. This is what happens when real people, not real people, that's terrible. When real friends, that's even worse. Join you on Twitch. Right in the stomach. So what if they've got it wrong? What if physics has always been wrong?
I know. My leg is actually tapping right now, as it usually would on a regular flight. The restless leg.
We've M Curtains has also gifted subs to MG Deluxe, Jack Little's Gimp, which is Mudbot, Freaky Eyes, Joe Show Live, and an anonymous person. He's gifted subs to Christopher Throbbin and Crispy Tater Tot, and Boss Lady has resubscribed for a 3rd month. So thank you very much. This is just some of the fun that you've just paid for, as we find ourselves airborne over what we hope is legally sourced building assets there. I think we're leaving out of JFK. I think I'm right in saying that. So that was JFK Airport.
It looks. I've got that feeling that it's JFK. Yeah.
It just felt like you can always tell JFK because when you're taxiing, it's always back and to the right, isn't it? Back and to the right. That's where you taxi at JFK. Back and to the right. Yeah. A joke there about the assassination of sitting president. Yeah. So
I'm so glad I have a mute button.
Should it come to that?
Did you drop the curtains?
I did. No, yeah, you can do that. You can't do it to that one. Oh no, you can look.
Oh my word!
So if you fancy a nap, at any point, just let me know and I'll do the business.
It's so smooth as well.
It's beautiful. Yeah. What I like as well about these windows, Jez, about these windows, is you got that weird little black thing there, that tiny little, which I believe, I'm just hazarding a guess here, but I'm assuming that that's to account for the changes in air pressure within the cabin. You see, because this is it's double glazed. I think they have to put a little hole in there because otherwise it would pop and crack with the changing in pressure. I feel sorry for JFK. Imagine your parents naming you after an airport. I know, it's terrible. That was Joe Show Live there. Is this the new Microsoft? This is airplane mode. No, it's a real. We're on a real aeroplane. Joe Show Live. This is all really happening. It's funny, isn't it? Sorry, go on.
I would say you always get that little condensation in the middle, and you start second guessing your life. It's like, am I going to be sucked out of this thing?
Sucked or blown? Now there's a debate. Yeah, sucked or blown.
I should know better because I've hosted this debate before, and I was a keen believer of the blow theory.
Yeah, I go with blow. Given the choice.
And we should be about mile high here soon.
Hang on. How are we doing? Altitude 1,532 meters. Now, somebody in the row in front is watching a film, and the lady to my right, she's settled down with some Bugs Bunny. Now, we're not going to be doing either of those things for legal reasons. But this is still in development, this real aeroplane. We're hoping that at some point they're going to upgrade the entertainment system so that we can bring it, because I've got it in me satchel here. Hello. Oh, if I can just get it open. It's all got a bit surgeon simulator, whatever it's called. What have I got?
Turned into a satchel.
Yeah, I've got me phone here with all my cat photos on and all photos of bridges as well. What's your favourite bridges? What are your favourite bridges, Jez?
I would have to say solid second is Jeff and Nash.
Yeah.
Nash being the top one.
Yeah. I'm torn between Jeff and Bo.
See, not a lot of people usually go with Bo, so there's a lot of respect for you bringing Bo up there. I wouldn't have thought of it.
My ears. This is. I should say as well. I did a test flight, but I bailed. I jumped out with a parachute before we got this far. We're above the clouds. Jez.
Oh my word!
And I've got a bit of ringing in my ears, and I don't know if it's the game or not. Hang on. Yeah. Well, it's certainly in my headphones. So I'm hoping my ears will pop at some point. Perhaps the air hostess will be round with some sweets. Perhaps a slim packet of nuts. But we're not here to listen to me prattle on. We're here to listen to you prattle on. So,
right.
You've recreated, you've reinvented your stream as a sort of commercial flights thing. Will you be focusing more on passenger missions as a result?
I'm sure that will come into it eventually, because the concept is I'm doing a very long-term project where pretty much sourcing credits through mission board activities only, so there could be some exploration there with a passenger mission, because those will bump up the credits quite
Handsomely,
handily, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Now, because you do quite a lot of sort of challenge-led things, programming on your stream, don't you? So you've done sort of, from Sidewinder to something or other in a short period of time. So that's quite a useful drive to have, I think, if you're streaming. Oh, I think my ears have just popped. Oh,
yeah, about the same time there. All
Yeah.
righty. Whew. Bit of turbulence will rattle that.
rattle me feelings through. So,
Yes.
So what challenges have you achieved so far? Have you gone with?
Colonia was a big one because that was my inauguration into Twitch streaming. I was chit-chatting on other people's streams saying I was going to do it, and they thought I was a bit silly. And then I proved how silly I was for doing it, and we did 5 billion credits in a week just before Fleet Carriers came out. And more recently, we did, and I talk about myself as we did a brand new account to Colonia in 24 hours from, and included in that was, it had to be in an Anaconda that was reasonably engineered and Guardian booster. So those are the 3 big ones.
Yeah.
So
I think it's sort of in the nature of the game, I think, to set yourself those sort of personal goals and challenges. I think it's doubly useful if you're streaming. I always feel slightly guilty if I'm sort of bimbling around and not really doing anything.
yeah, it's you get a much nicer feeling at the end of the stream when you think you've achieved something that has got some form of context, and I hope to one day achieve that.
Yes, context. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to work towards, isn't it? Context.
Yes.
Yeah. Boss lady commenting on the fact that we popped at the same time.
Wow.
And Joe Show identifying that bridge as Humber Bridge. I'm not entirely sure it is Humber Bridge, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Joe, until we can prove otherwise. Haha. The hole in the window always makes me nervous. It's there for your protection, boss lady. I'm sure. Yeah, because you don't want popped glass everywhere, do you?
Do you know what else makes me nervous on a flight? And it always seems to happen.
Is it when people do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
also, like, even if it's a relatively new plane and you're sitting over the wings, there usually always seems to be duct tape on the wings.
Yes.
Or some kind of silver tape.
It's not duct tape, and that's the thing. I can't remember what it is now, but there was a big because I think somebody tweeted a footage of somebody applying the duct tape to the wing, and basically just how she was terrified for the rest of the flight because she felt like the thing was being held together by duct tape. It's not duct tape. I can't remember quite what it is or what it does, but it's it's not got nothing to do with the structural integrity of the wing. I think that's the basis.
Managing the nerves of the passengers.
Have you enabled airplane mode on that phone? Oh, I don't think I have actually. Hang on. Settings. Phone settings. Not sure what game settings refers to. Yeah. Right. That's now on. Don't click quit game. Oh, magic tape. It is. It's definitely magic. I mean, what's the other possibility? But am I right in saying that before Elite Dangerous, you had another Forever game?
I did, and I forget what that is.
Oh,
This is going well.
Somebody's knocking. There's nothing worse than hearing somebody knocking on a window when you're at 1,500 meters or whatever. Oh, slightly terrifying. Sparky, welcome to the stream. We are currently. Oh no, we're flying with a cube as well. 5,000 meters. That's like nearly 5 kilometers. Oh. So we're not. I should say as well, we're not quite changed to the name yet, which is why, for one, I haven't really been able to decide whether it's Jack is stuck on a plane with or Jack Little is stuck on a plane with. But it's not very punchy as a title. I like punchy titles. So I'd just like to talk you through this because I think this has a lot of potential. And I'd quite value, as a seasoned streamer, Jez, I'd quite like your input on this as a title for this particular strand. You see, I'm on a plane because I'm going off somewhere, yeah? Mm-hmm. So I'm going off somewhere on a plane, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I'm taking you with me. We're going together to a destination. We're going to. So I thought a possible title is Jack's off on a plane with ...
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's just like it tells you exactly what you need to know. No shilly-shallowing, no ambiguity. You know exactly what you're getting when you tune in to Jack's off on a plane with.
I don't know why. It's clever. I don't know why I'm laughing.
I don't know why you're laughing. Perhaps. Perhaps it's the change in pressure brought on an episode.
Hi, Father Bill.
It's only a laugh, no harm done.
Father Bill, welcome to the stream. We're off on a plane. Jez and I, we're compartmented together. We thought we'd have a lovely chat. How are you doing, Father Bill? Can we get a shout out for Father Bill, please?
Sorry, the movie they're showing is hilarious.
Oh, what is the music? The movie? Oh, is that why you're laughing?
Yes.
Yeah.
The never-ending Bugs Bunny next to me.
Is it not Mr. Bean? It's usually Mr. Bean. I've not been on a flight for the last flight I went on actually before this absolutely real flight was agony. It was absolute agony. It was short haul to Edinburgh, which I don't really I'm not a big fan of short haul flights. I'd much rather reduce the old carbon footprint there. But I got excruciating. I think because of my sinuses, I got excruciating pains behind my eyes. It was horrible. I had to, and it's like, there was nothing I could do. I knew all the tricks about clearing the old Eustachian tubes, clearing out the blockages, but nothing was working. Nothing was working. So I basically just had to sit there next to my boss as well. Had to sit there in mild. No, not mild. It was quite extreme pain, actually. I'm not quite sure how you'd rank. I would say sort of 6 or 7 on a 10-point scale. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Oh, ow. Ooh. I also get very itchy feet when I fly. Excuse me. Ooh, that's good.
Also down there, can you have a go on mine as well?
Yeah, sure. How's that?
Oh, that's top. That's good stuff.
Do you find your ankles swell while you're in the air?
Regularly, yeah. It's
funny that, isn't it?
Sometimes if I'm going on a plane, I'll tie my shoelaces a little looser.
No.
Top tip.
Oh, I think. Because can I? Oh, I'm not sure I can. Hang on, I'll just check that I've done something. So we'll just have another look at that award-winning title sequence whilst I quickly check something. One moment. Ooh, the engines have cut out. That's not good.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine. I just need to check that I've. No, I haven't. Okay, good. Aha! Oh no, it's all right. We're saved. They kicked back in. I was just wondering if I could actually get up and walk around, but I don't think I can. Oh, I can adjust my seat though, so that's something. Yeah. And I've got some. Oh yeah, I've got some travel sickness pills as well. But I'm generally okay with travelling.
It does beg a question when you're on a flight, and I always think this when I'm on a plane is, well, I can only ever afford to fly economy anyway, so when you push the button to go back, it doesn't go very far, and you're left thinking, what's the point?
Yeah.
Have you ever sat on one that's right jammed against the wall that doesn't even go back that little amount?
I don't think I'd like that at all. I'm imagining it and I hate it.
It makes all the difference. Yeah, not a good difference either.
Oh, Paolo also resubscribed as well. Thank you very much, Paolo. Paolo has been subscribing for 26 months now, which is, I think, a suitable case for treatment. Thank you very much, Paolo. Thank you. Too kind.
I can open me nuts now, if that's all right.
Is it possible to land on a closed runways like the one at the former RAF? Well, this we're very limited in the number of flights that we can take in this particular in airplane mode. At the moment, I'm hoping this is one of those things where it's a bit of a joke, this this game, really, but I'm very appreciative of anyone who takes a joke very, very far. Change the. That's fun. And what has warned me is if you go onto Steam and you go onto the airplane mode discussion board, you've got a few people saying, "What is this? I don't understand. What is it for?" But then you've got loads of people saying, "This doesn't go far enough." Slightly too many people saying, "Oh, you should make it crash," which I think is it's a bit easy, isn't it? What would be interesting? What would be interesting if they coded it so that you did get crashes, but they were statistically equivalent. So, say a plane crashes every I don't even know what the numbers are. Let's say 10 million flights. Let's go with that. No idea what the number is. One crash every 10 million flights. Then that's how many flights in game would have to happen before any one of them crashed. So that's how I'd do it if I was going to do that. But then, if it's going to be that rare, then why bother? Why bother? WKJ is openly nuts. No, I think he's opening his nuts.
They are salted. Just salted.
Maniac Psycho is hosted. Thank you very much for that host, Maniac Psycho. Quite enjoyed the way that it appeared to come up on the in-flight monitor there. That was fun. It's still in development, so what we're hoping for is that we'll be able to put our own videos in at some point, which, from a chat show point of view, is a gold mine. The thrills and spills that we'll be able to have. Now, we had a little sort of chat before we came on air about doing stuff for the stream, for streams in general, and I think. Because I've been, as I think I mentioned last stream, I've been working on this virtual set, which it's a recording studio, is what we're doing. We're creating a little recording studio for a number of skits and things, and it's taking a lot of work. The idea is that once it's done, then we can relatively quickly shoot video and put it all together and make it look lovely. But it is that I think that's one of the sort of ongoing concerns. We had viewers of the stream will remember. He's still around. He comes and helps with the chairs if we're raided. But we have a little visitor called Boring Paul. And Boring Paul...
Everybody, this is your captain speaking.
Hello. Captain speaking.
We've hit our cruising altitude of 32,000 feet. So welcome to the flight. Hopefully we'll continue to have smooth weather all the way to the destination. I'll be back in touch if we've got any other updates for you en route.
Jolly good. Very naughtily, I took my seatbelt off too early.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has
No
turned
wonder
off the
that lady
fasten
next to us
seatbelt
was
sign,
giving you the eyes.
indicating we've reached our cruising
Rather
altitude.
serious.
You are now free to move about the cabin, but we ask that while in your seat, you keep your seatbelt fastened. At this time, the use of all approved portable electronic devices is permitted.
Yay! We can use our phones now. And our laptops. Although I don't think I've got one. I've just got a phone, some headphones, and a little sketchbook. Hang on. What shall I draw? Shall I draw something? I'm going to do a little drawing for you, Jess.
Okay.
What do you fancy?
Ooh. Nothing like putting me on the spot.
Yep.
How about a pouch of juice?
A pouch of juice. I think I've got one in me. Oh, detail. Oh, missed. Let's see now. I'm drawing it straw in, if that's okay.
Is it a plastic straw? Because they should be paper straws these days.
It's an ink straw. Is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's put some. I'm guessing it's orange juice, isn't it? So I'm going to put some orange juice halves, so juicy, on the front there. Very badly drawn, I must admit.
Badly drawn boy.
Indeed. So not a very good orange. It's only got 6 segments.
That's shrinkflation for you. Have you seen a chocolate orange these days?
A chocolate orange.
They're getting smaller.
My brain went a bit funny then, and I thought, what the hell is it, chocolate orange? I know full well what a chocolate... Terry's chocolate orange. That's the thing, isn't it? Yes.
Well...
Are we alone in our pursuit of the chocolate orange as British citizens?
I think the United States have them, but I'm not sure if they're Terry's over there.
Interesting. Yeah,
Terry owns all the chocolate oranges in the UK.
It's peculiar, isn't it? Because I can't imagine a feasible reason for other companies not doing something, if not exactly like a chocolate orange, pretty similar to a chocolate orange. I don't think I've ever seen one. You could call it a chocolate grapefruit or something. Sorry, that's just maybe that's not very interesting. It just suddenly occurred to me, it's like, why is that just a sole thing? Cadbury's doesn't own the dairy milk. Well, it owns the dairy milk bar. It doesn't own the concept of chocolate bars.
No, absolutely not.
That's where the ashtray used to live back in the day.
I remember that. See, here's another curious question.
Mm-hmm.
Even new airplanes fit the non-smoking sign on them, and smoking on commercial airlines have been banned for quite some time.
Yeah, I think it's odd. The suggestion there seems to be that if you don't tell a smoker that they can't smoke, they're gonna try. Ooh, look at that. We're getting a little bit of condensation gathering around the scary window hole.
Predicted it.
I'm sure
Knew
it's
it was
fine.
going to happen.
I'm sure it's fine. The attention to detail is marvellous. Boss lady was asking whether we can get up and walk around, and I was under the impression I could, but I don't know if I can. Also, don't know what this button does. I think I might have called for assistance. I wonder if I keep doing this, I'll annoy the air hostess. I don't know if we missed it because of the business at the start, but on my first flight, the air hostess came past and advised me to fasten my seatbelt. It was oddly spooky. It was oddly spooky. Oh,
Goodness.
hang on, I seem to have the option of clicking on the toilet there.
Well, that fella in front is having a little sneaky peek around there.
Yeah, he's allowed to turn it. He's probably paid that premium. He's probably paid the premium that allows you to turn your head.
He has.
I don't know. No, this is the thing with creating stuff for the stream, is that you, on an ongoing basis, you want that pipeline, the pipeline for content creation, to be as short as possible. That's I think that's generally what we strive for. Would you agree?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes. So, how do you manage it, Jez? I'm putting you through. I'm basically just mining you for. Oh, he's having another peek. That's creepy.
Yeah.
You go on watching your film, mate. You go on watching your film. Sorry, Jez. Sorry.
He's looking around and says, "I can't believe it, but don't look now. That's Jack Little back there."
Jack Little from the Twitch.
Yeah. It's a pipeline. Yeah. Ideas to tangible product, I guess. Well, Boss, if she's still in the channel, will back me up with this. There's usually a very small lead time. Because if I don't do it quickly, it never comes out. So I improvise a lot when it comes to planning.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. There's my personal downfall. It took me about 40 years to realise this, but one of my personal downfall is that I expect too much of what I do, so I end up not doing anything.
I completely agree. To a point, actually, that's what's happening in my studies right now, year 2 of a uni degree. And my last project, I got under distinction, and I felt, well, what's the point? You know, it's kind of like, I felt like I'd failed, even though,
Yeah.
you know.
You plainly hadn't.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a. It sounds like I'm doing a flex there, but anything does.
It's a little bit, but you know, it's absolutely inhibiting, and one of the things that sort of has helped, I think, is the notion good enough, or the phrase "good enough gets it done." Good enough gets it, and certainly as far as Twitch goes, of having that kind of cycle. So the Halloween special, for instance, loads of stuff, loads of elements of the Halloween special, not really happy with, but absolute deadline because it has to go out on Halloween. So it's kind of like, well, that's good enough. That's good enough, you know, and that sort of has led through as well to another sort of little mental exercise, which is to look at something that you've done and say, well, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, and I could have done this better.
Right.
Because I think that the tacit agreement that you're having with yourself is that you're not going to do any of those things. You know,
right?
You're so right. I can recognise that these flaws exist in what I have created, and I have learnt from the fact that those flaws are there. But I'm not going to go back and fix the flaws. I'm just going to keep going. You know, like you take the lesson without doing the work, but without slowing down, I guess.
Yes, and especially, let's say, I mean, you and I have talked about this between us a couple of times. I don't know if we've talked about it on a stream before, but you put in an extraordinary amount of work when you're not live, as well as when you are. So I can understand that there's that period of evaluation when you've done something, and having spent so long on it, it probably is quite the I don't know, elating and sombering. It depends what you feel about what you've produced, I suppose.
Yes, yeah, it's I think Halloween's the I was going to say the worst. Halloween's the worst. Halloween's the sort of the most sort of abrupt, because that's a heck of a lot of work. Because that's, as I sort of say, it's based, as far as the stream goes, it's basically our Christmas is the Halloween special, and yeah, and it's kind of that thing that on November the 1st, you've got all the work is done and the thing's gone out, and hopefully people have liked it, and then it's kind of like, well, I don't know now, you know.
Oh, I certainly liked it. I mean,
thank you. I was fishing for compliments there, so thank you, thank you.
No, it was great because I kind of had an idea of a few of the things he was doing, because we talked about it for months before it came out. I mean, there's no exaggeration. He was working on the Halloween special for the better part of the year, and like when Boss and I was watching it, we was on a call. It was like, "Oh, did you see that bit? Did you? Oh, yeah, it really worked." It was.
Thank you.
And then when we figured out what was going on, it's like, oh, I wonder how he did that.
Yeah. It's good as well, because that particular element that I think you're talking about, which I think I can best sum up with as BAC. Would that be, without giving too much away? For those that haven't seen it, because it's still available on YouTube, that was a sort of thing that was like, well, it's going to take a little bit of work, but not a huge amount of work. Is anyone going to even pick up on the fact? And I was sort of quite pleased of how, and I guess it's one's sensitivity, I guess, to the structure and the feel of a stream that I think certainly you and Boss Lady kind of keyed into what was going on straight away, and that was for me that was very rewarding, that I wasn't just sort of creating or adding details, you know, that were serving no purpose, I guess.
Let's say I've not ever seen anything quite like it on Twitch, because when you're doing something live, especially when you're incorporating elements that are not live, timing is everything, and your timing was perfect, Mr. Little.
It wasn't, but thank you. And I know it's sort of rude to kind of throw away a compliment like that, but no, there was the particular, and it's only because it really niggled me, but there was a particular bit of timing that I felt was terrible. But if if that went unnoticed, hooray!
you certainly suspended my disbelief.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
and that chap in front of you as well. Here he goes. He's having another go.
Well, Jez, we live in a twilight world, don't we?
And there are no friends at dusk.
Indeed. I think the flights are slightly randomised, so I think we do, because I think on that first flight that I took, the sun started going down, I think before we were even in the air. So it's and the passengers were different. So I say obviously, that's not obvious at all, is it really? But no, the passengers are different as well. So it rewards repeat experiencing. Yeah, all M Curtains posting up a link for the Halloween special. This I feel a bit remiss. M Curtains. Have we given Jez a shout out? Because I think we should probably give Jez a shout out if we haven't, and if we have.
Oh bless.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've succumbed. That's the wrong word. We can do another one. Yeah. Why not? You joining me today on today's flight is Twitch streamer WKJS. That's a mid-announce. That's what professionals do. People tuning in late and they say, "What's going on? I don't understand." So we're having a chat to Twitch streamer WKJS. Yeah.
And we're on a plane to nowhere.
And we're on a plane to. Yeah, that's where we're going. Yeah.
Currently over the Gulf of Maine.
Yes, that's the main Gulf. You can zoom in. It just doesn't really help. Oh,
They've left-
hang on. Can we see that line? There's a big line that we've just flown past a big line in the ocean.
Oh.
I was just wondering if we could see it. No, we can't. That's a shame. That's a shame.
So, I have to ask, on an airplane,
On an airplane.
how does one get past the inevitable battle of wills with who controls the window shutter? Because obviously the person next to it has the full authority on when it goes up and down, but oh, hello.
Hello.
I,
Oh, I can smell this bathroom. This is extraordinary. Oh gosh, that chemical toilet smell. Sorry, how does one? Sorry, I got slightly distracted by the toilet. What was the? Sorry, Jess? What was the question?
it's alright, I'll talk to you over the PA. It seems that I'm not going to join you inside the bathroom.
That would be appropriate. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn this off. Everyone's confused. I'm under the sink. Don't worry. Yeah. So how do you resolve a conflict on if one person wants a window open and one person wants the window shut?
What on a plane? I assume you're talking about the shutter.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. That's a good question. I would tend to go with the person that wants it shut, because I think generally the need for it to be shut is more important than the need for it to be open.
Right.
I would say broadly speaking, but I'd probably ask for them to make state their cases,
Yeah.
take it from there. And if I could decide, I'd probably just toss for it.
And you're joining us live for Jack's Off on a Plane?
Yes, with Jack's off on a plane with. I think the with is important, because otherwise people won't know that I've got a travelling companion. Oh no.
Oh, did you get stuck?
No, I think I've just called for assistance. Oh, how terrifying!
Oh no.
No smoke. Oh, it's lavatory. Jez, it's lavatory. No smoking in
Oh.
lavatory. That makes a lot more sense now. I think about it.
See, I was
Yeah.
concerned it would be like a 3D Among Us where you're doing the med bay samples.
Yeah. Grab a coffee. Ooh.
Oh, now that's... look at those water physics. Oh,
Hang on.
goodness.
Can I do this? And can I? Nope.
Oh, the jiggle.
That was
Oh.
interesting. Jiggle. Did you enjoy the jiggle?
I did, but your littering has disturbed me somewhat.
I think what that was we were seeing inside the bin. Let me do it again.
Oh, okay.
So I think what was happening was... Oh, I did it properly that time. Okay, yeah. I think
we go.
I think something went a little wrong. Oh, that's a bit nasty. Look,
Oh.
my battery's getting low.
In a few moments, flight attendants will be coming around the cabin with our
Oh,
in-flight
nice.
service. We will be serving a
Oh,
snack along with a
snack.
complimentary soft drinks, juices,
Oh, are you
and
in the
coffee.
toilet
Beer,
during
wine,
snack
and
time?
other
Oh, I think I have to
alcoholic
unlock the door
beverages are
before I
available for
open
purchase. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Oh,
it. I'm stuck.
oh, this is going on.
Okay. No, that's fine. Slightly disturbing there that I had to click the emergency exit, panel falling out of plane door in order to get back into my seat. But we're gonna get food, which is
Yeah, what are you going to get?
perversely making me quite hungry. I'm not quite sure. I think there is a menu, but hello. Take a minute to let us know your meal choices for the upcoming meal service. Ooh. Okay, so water, soda water, cola, ginger ale, tomato juice, apple juice, orange juice, beer, white wine, or a red wine. Well, I'm teetotal, so the bottom row's out. I gravitate, understandably, towards the orange juice. So I think that's what we'll go for.
I have to say, and this is another true story, the only time I ever drink Red Coke, the original Coca-Cola, is on a plane. There's just something about it on a plane that I like. But when I'm on the ground, it's always Pepsi, not a sponsor.
Interesting. By some chance, I've read about 3 books in a row about the Pepsi Coca-Cola wars of the late 80s, early 90s. And it was quite fascinating stuff. It really was. Covered the sort of the failings of New Coke. And what else was there? There was the... Oh, that's you.
Sorry, yes, I was grabbing a Pepsi.
Oh, it was the taste test. The taste test. Because Pepsi ran for a very long time. They ran a campaign where they were basically demonstrating that in blind sip tests, people preferred Pepsi to Coca-Cola, and that was true, but only in sip tests. So if you get like a little 2 ounce, I don't know how much 2 ounces is. 2 ounce cup. Is that a small amount? I feel like that should be a small amount, 2 ounces.
I think so, yeah.
It takes no time to... Yeah, if you give somebody a little sort of 2 ounce sipping measure of Pepsi and they have a little sip of that, and oh yeah, that's quite nice. You have a little 2 ounce sip of Coca-Cola, it's that's a bit bitter. Especially if you're doing it sort of close together. You're going to go down the sweet one. However, if you present somebody with 330 millilitres of Pepsi versus 330 millilitres of Coke, they'll find, well, that's a lot of sweets to get through with Pepsi. Whereas because Coca-Cola has that sort of that bitterness to it, people much prefer generally much prefer a full can of Coke over Pepsi. Yeah.
It's certainly better with the naughtier liquids that you can consume, such as alcohol.
Oh, I think Coca-Cola is a mixer, yeah, definitely. A friend of mine, the comedy writer Ian Potter, who was recently, I suppose, recovering from heart surgery, so, love goes out to you, Ian, love goes out to you. He decided that Pepsi's strapline should be, is Pepsi all right? Because that's generally what happens. You'll be in a pub, you'll ask for Coca-Cola, and the barman will say, "Is Pepsi all right?"
That's always the same response. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that how far does no get you in that conversation? Really?
Yeah, like no,
get some Coca-Cola.
Fetch me a Coke.
Did I
I'm the
stutter, barman? Did I stutter? I did not. It sounds a little bit like stuttering because it's Coca-Cola, but sorry, I went off at a tangent there.
Oh well, I thought it was rather acute.
Yes, thank you.
That's terrible.
Acute tangent. Yes, I was a little obtuse there. I didn't get it straight away.
I've got nothing.
You've got nothing. We were talking as well. There's a thing that we do here at the Little Massive, where, hang on, I just need to pop my seat back and fasten my seatbelt because otherwise the air hostess will become enraged. Oh,
Oh, that was smooth action.
Oh, wonderful! It's wonderful action. Let's just do that again.
Oh.
I just need to stretch my legs out. Chuck Yeager, who at the age of, I think, 24, which is astonishing, really. Stop it.
Oh, right.
He's back. Just watch your film.
He's going to take a selfie in a minute, isn't he?
Oh, could we do that? I don't think we can. Let's have a look.
You'd have to take it at a weird angle because apparently I've metamorphosized into your satchel.
Yes, absolutely. Peter Satchel. that's what I'll call you. There's a joke for the British viewers of a certain age.
Yeah, the joke's in the bag.
Oh no.
I think the man in front has actually got a top knot. Oh look, there she goes.
Yeah.
She didn't want to commit though. Did you notice? She was giving a side glance.
Is he taking a photo of me watching a cartoon? Because that's
better
not
not
right.
I better not turn all the way,
Yeah.
because then I'd be the rude one.
Notice as well that the peaky boy... Oh, no, there he goes.
Oh,
Yeah. Right. That's enough of that. So Chuck Yeager, who was the first person to break the sound barrier, sadly passed a few days ago. And we do what we like to do, when notable people who've touched our lives one way or another pass on the streams. We just pop a little thank you at the end of the stream, in our flavour text. Because each stream has a flavour text. Did I do one actually? Hang on. No, we didn't get that far. What should the flavour text be? Answers in chat whilst I discuss this, and we'll get that sorted. You're right there. You can't breathe it, can you?
no.
Oh dear. I'm now. If you're worried that he's choking to death, don't worry. If he can speak, that means that if he has got a blockage, it's only partial. Because in order to speak, in order to vocalise, you need to pass air across your vocal cords, you see. So if you can speak, you're probably okay. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. That was terribly rude of me. I apologise. I shouldn't.
Jez, what it was a learnable moment. We learned something about choking there.
Well, I was trying to be very stealthy and quiet and drinking out of the bottle, and then it crumpled, and then I was committed.
Oh yeah, yes, terrible.
I was caught. I was caught out.
Does the creepy man in front have a ponytail? Ooh.
Well, I thought it was a top knot.
It could be a top knot.
Or a one at half mast.
What we should do is turn his little air fan on, and then when he stands up, he might get caught up in it.
Now you're thinking like an airline passenger.
Absolutely. But that's the flip side. That's the flip side of putting your seat back. Of course, is the fact that seat is in front of somebody. So I think that's why it's such a limited range of movement. If that's a top knot, slap him and tell him to grow up. Maniac psycho.
Is our food on the way? Or is your food on the way?
Did
you even?
I ordered an orange juice.
Right.
Somebody's in the toilet. I like the fact that you can't just use the toilet willy-nilly. That if there's somebody in there, you're just going to have to wait. They've thought it through.
That's also another terrifying experience when you're on an airplane, not being in the middle. You'll get to the point where you're thinking, well, do I need to go to the toilet? And then you're like,
so
well,
badly.
Yeah, I don't want to inconvenience the other people.
Yeah. And I think as well, you're more paranoid about should we say personal hygiene when it comes to re-entering as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not wanting to go into too much detail, but you kind of want to be lemony fresh as you slip back into your seat, don't you?
Yeah, because you've got no chance to, if you have an act, you can't recover when you're on the plane.
I'm being asked for the airspeed screen again. Oh, we're over land. We're just passing Shelburne.
Is this Canada?
Who is a character in Big Bang Theory. It is not. I'm being a fool. Now, yes. So, did we get any suggestions for 2 ounces is 59ml? That's substantial. That's not insubstantial, is it?
I'll keep you going in the desert for about an hour, I'd imagine.
This is very ASMR, Jack. Have you considered doing an 8-hour version of this? I have not, Shanine. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Shanine. Shanine's lovely. Shanine doesn't stream, but could we do a shout out for Shanine, please?
Hi there.
Because Shanine's Facebook profile picture is got me in it. So, if that's not worthy of a shout out, I don't know what is. Yeah. Recently, they've been contentifying. That's good. Shanine does quizzes. Check them out.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe for Christmas Day I should do a 24-hour flight. Just completely completely make 2020 the full package.
Only if there's a mid-air refueling sequence.
Well, that's true.
Such as one might be familiar with by way of Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thought to grow old as a pilot. Hello? Oh. Hey! Where did she come round with Chai?
Oh, there she is. Look at that.
Let me get my
Gonna
tray
be-
ready. That's not too forward, is it? Put my tray down already.
I think it shows due diligence. If I was an airline stewardess and I saw the customers ready with a tray, I'd be quite impressed. I would.
I was at school with a due diligence.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh, from Peterborough. Yeah.
Ah yes, my area of the world. Ish.
Ish. More or less. More or less. Oh. Now, should we talk about Cyberpunk? We
Yes.
should talk about Cyberpunk. We're not going to get into the transphobia debate, because I think that's it's difficult. I would say this, that there's the game and then there's the marketing of the game, and I think that the marketing has made a series of errors, really. But I'm a couple, 2 or 3 hours into the game, and I'm sort of, I think there's an issue there with it. It's portraying a hypersexualized dystopia, and and I think that the window into that world that the marketing has given hasn't been fully representative, as it were. Oh, she's doing that slow turn of the head. It's a bit creepy.
I think she's phobic of apple juice.
Thank you.
I think possibly as well what it is I'm looking over, and she's like, is he looking at me? And then she's sort of like half looking across, so she's like not looking at me, but she's just she does flicks the tray down with one finger there.
That's showing off.
She's just looking out the window. Ah, could be that. But yes, you've not been able to get the thing going, have you? Or very well.
No, it's been, according to Discord, it's been running for almost 24 hours now, but it's I can't get it off the ground. Yeah, no pun intended.
No pun intended at all. Just won't, you can't get it into the air. That's never a full. That's never. Oi, I mean, excuse me, kind lady. Oh, yeah, you heard that, didn't you? Could I have my my orange juice, please?
Oh, the look she gave you.
I know. Shocking.
I'm glad I'm a
That was,
satchel.
That was scarier than phasmophobia. God.
What can you imagine if that happened if you was playing this in VR?
There's a lot of call for this to be in VR, and I think that's. Oh, hello. Thank you. I'll put it over here. Oh, it stayed. Good.
Ice cubes and orange juice?
Hello. Oh, look, I got a little snack. Sorry, I didn't see the nuts. Sorry to leave you hanging there. With my nuts. Oh, sorry, pretzels.
She's looking really salty over there.
It wouldn't have been as funny with pretzels. I'm not sure quite how. I'd probably still make it funny, but it would be, I'd have to twist things quite a bit. Yum, yum, yum. Oh,
This takes me back to a story I was telling on the stream the other day. I don't know. Is it? You were talking about milk Coke, and then I started thinking,
yes.
And how people were like, "Well, I don't like dipping French fries into Coke," and I was thinking, well, pretzels. When I'm on an airplane, I have to have a mouthful of pretzel and Coke at the same time. It's a good experience.
Yeah, and also your taste buds are all out of whack anyway when you're on a flight because of the air pressure, I believe.
That'd explain why I like Coke on a plane and not normally.
Gene Below again offers around the cheese and pineapple hedgehog. I'm baffled. I'm baffled by this, Gene Below. The prevalence of the cheese and pineapple hedgehog on our nibbles command. Can I just try something? Let me just try something.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chips and dips.
Yeah, chips and dips, you see. I get something else. Can I steal? No. What are you doing?
Oh,
Oh, she's having her snacks. I see. I like the fact that I'm getting like a hot reticule there on her. I want to say, I feel like what she's ordered there is whiskey. She's got a little shot of whiskey on the go there.
she isn't looking too steady now, is she?
No.
Can you
What
still it?
What did you do on the flight, Mummy? Well, I drank scotch and watched cartoons. Yeah. She's wondering about the real boy apparently talking to thin air. Could be. I'm talking to my satchel. WKJS. Peter Satchel. Oh,
That sums up my personality.
Of course, Satchmo. Oh, no. My brain's gone Satchmo there. It was, there's an interesting thing about how Satchmo got his nickname. And, yeah, I can't remember it, so we'll look it up afterwards and shove it up on edutainment. That's what we'll do. So, yes. Sorry, go on.
So I have to ask, as somebody that has partook in commercial airline flights before, such as yourself,
Indeed.
do you ever actually manage to get to sleep on an airplane?
Yes. For a short while, my mother lived in Florida, which is a state of America, and you knew that. I don't know why I didn't know why I qualified that. And yes, I can't remember if it was the flight out there or the flight back, but I definitely slept one way. Yeah.
It's that weird. I'm bringing it up because I don't know if there's a term for this, but there's a weird thing that I noticed that when I sleep on a plane or in a car, I always seem to instinctively wake up when I'm close to the end of the journey, and getting close to home particularly.
Yes. Yeah. Trains. I don't think. Oh no, I was going to say I don't think I've ever slept through a stop, but I definitely have done that.
Oh, yes.
On a train, but that was in the morning. When Yeah. A bus. Sorry, it was a bus. Scratch that. I remember now. I remember the circumstances, the exact circumstances in which I was asleep through my stop, and it was a bus out of Canterbury to a little industrial estate where I had the worst job in the world. And yes, I was for my sins. For a little while, I was a weighbridge operator. I wasn't meant to be a weighbridge operator. I'd been drafted in to do various office admin jobs, and the weighbridge operator went off to have a baby, and so I took over as my amongst my other duties as a weighbridge. I took over the weighbridge operation, which involved weighing, I think 6 to 8 lorries of trash a day, which amounted to about 45 minutes to an hour's work, and yeah, they basically essentially they wanted me to go. They wanted me to go, but they didn't want to. They couldn't fire me, and they didn't want to make me redundant. So what they would try to do is they tried to just bore me out of the job. Constructive dismissal. Clear grounds for what? Ooh. For constructive dismissal. And I knew that that's what they were doing because the...
Hello? Excuse me.
Hello? Somebody keeps saying, hello, excuse me. I'm terrified.
Sorry, I had to nip off to the toilet. I'm back now.
Oh, it's just. I think it's just this chap here.
Hello. Excuse me.
No,
And what,
no, it's
what
not.
has she done with her drink?
I know. I tried to write it for her, but
Any trash?
I can't touch her glass.
Ladies
Neither
and
can she,
gentlemen,
by the looks
we
of
are
it.
now making our final approach. Please take this time to
Already?
double check your seatbelt and ensure it is indeed securely fastened. Flight attendants will
Time
be
flies
passing
when you're
around
having
the cabin
fun.
one final time to make a compliance check and pick up any remaining trash.
Just gonna
Thank you. We'll be on the ground shortly.
shotgun my orange juice.
Hello. Excuse me.
I think that may be a Twitch record for the most amount of vitamin C consumed in one take.
Absolutely. I can't quite finish the orange juice. Oh,
Any trash?
yeah, baby. Sorry, I shouldn't call him baby, should I? It's a bit over familiar. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Excuse me.
Is he collecting the rubbish? Don't put your satchel in the rubbish. I don't want to
No,
go out that way.
I wouldn't. Do you think they keep the rubbish and dispose of it at the end of the flight, or do you think they just take a detour over Albuquerque? Just sort of tip it out the hole. Oh no, it's under the seat. It's under the seat. That's fine.
Oh,
Oh,
I panicked.
oh. Oof. Hello.
No, Jack.
I used to take night flights relatively often, so I got okay on sleeping in eye masks, earplugs. I hate the bit where the flaps start coming out and it's like air brakes.
That's my favourite part. Honestly, when you land on an airplane, and I've taken many flights, but I still have this overwhelming urge where I just want to clap at the end.
No.
No.
How
no,
long?
no.
God, how long were you in America for, Jess?
Oh gosh.
We do not
12.
clap the pilot.
No, that's not a...
No, only in very limited circumstances if the weather was particularly rough.
Excuse me.
Well,
I know he's just
I
doing
just-
his job. But,
Every time I land, I feel like I've cheated death in some way.
oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. It's I think we're too quick to clap as a species.
Right.
Maybe that's curmudgeonly of me.
I appear to have struck a nerve.
It's not that serious. But come on.
Jack, you've changed since the beginning of the flight.
Oh, do you think I've got that thing?
You've got the flight grumps.
Like that guy from REM. Oh.
What, that bloke over there in the corner?
Yeah, losing his religion and his Regillion. How many records did you sell? Oh, we sold a Regillion. Yeah.
See, all the jokes are coming out now, getting them in at the end.
Definitely. We did the pilot joke, didn't we? That was a good joke.
What, giving the pilot the clap? Oh no.
No, Jess, no.
Low hanging fruit.
Very, very. Yes. Good. We've got a magazine. Did I tell you?
No. Was it Sky Mall?
No flight is incomplete without an in-flight magazine.
Does it have the things for sale in there?
Well, like teddy bear. I think these possibly are available on. I would say duty free, but I think this is an internal flight within America. I don't think we've left the United States. We're over Halifax. Oh, Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia
Canada.
we're heading to. That's Canada. Canada.
We've got New Ross over there to the side.
New Ross. Oh, I see. Sorry. I was confused. A trip to Mars. We answer reader questions. Now there is. That's Tower Bridge. If anyone's watching, Who's that? There was a recording artist who brought out an album called, or a single was it, called London Bridge, and the artwork on the cover was of her standing in front of Tower Bridge, which is either shows terrible sense of geography or absolutely perfect trolling.
Wasn't that Fergie?
It was Fergie.
Yeah.
I believe it was Fergie, yes. Well remembered.
Should stick to being a royal.
Yes, absolutely. I'd warmed to Sarah Ferguson largely because of Ruby Wax's interview with her.
Ruby Wax has actually got a really good... I think her biography is actually really good. Or her autobiography.
Oh, yes,
Going off on a
sort of-
tangent.
No. It's tangent away. If you can't go off on a tangent while sitting on a commercial airline, when earthly can we?
I like to cover every angle.
Absolutely. Right.
Oh, you can actually do a Sudoku.
You can do a Sudoku. Oh, I can't. But you can. Yes. Let's see. What have we got?
I'd like a 3, please, Bob.
I think I need my. I think I need my pen, don't I? This can't end well.
See, this is the part of the stream where everybody can join in.
Yes. Just shout out numbers. Shout out some numbers, and we'll put them in. Let's see. 7. Gee, well, it can't be 7, can it? Because there's a 7 there.
Oh, but the 7 does go to the right of the 3, though.
How I generally do Sudoku, I don't like to do the brain stuff in my head, so I tend to draw little numbers in the corners, if possible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I tend to Sudoku. But when I look over people's shoulders in the London Underground, I never see anyone else doing that, and it makes me feel slightly embarrassed, like I'm, cycling with stabilizers.
When I've gone to, say, a doctor's surgery or something, and there's puzzles in there, and they're half filled in because people have been called for their appointments.
Yeah.
It does feel like a really nice community event, just finishing it off, and then you get enraged because they've done it wrong.
Yes. Yeah. And that might be it for them as well.
Yeah.
They might have gone through. They're like, oh, I've made a fudge of this Sudoku, and now I've gone through into the doctor's surgery. He's given me the results, and now I've got to go home and back an overnight bag, and I've got to have emergency surgery. And that person goes in for emergency surgery, and I'm afraid to say they don't make it.
His number's up.
The last mark they leave on the world is an incorrect half. I would say half solved. But that's not even the right thing. Sudoku puzzle in a waiting room somewhere. Psychedelic 255L2 LT. Welcome.
Prepare for landing.
Oh, hello. Oh, we're not going to be able to. I don't think we've got time to do the Sudoku because we're coming into land.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to have your pens out when you're landing, are you?
No. Hang on. Oh, how do I do this? That's it. Yeah, in your own time, Satchel.
Peter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Now that's a very confusing bit of the interface. Is that in order to put your put the satchel away, you have to click into the space that it's going into.
Oh, right.
Yeah, not the satchel itself.
You won't believe some of the other stuff down here underneath the seat right now. This is quite frightening.
The euphemistically entitled waste bag. What's down there, Jess?
There's
Guided tour.
a Game Gear.
The Game Gear? What,
Yes.
the sort of old Sega, was it?
Yes, the ones you had to plug into the national grid to play for an hour.
Gosh, how long's that been down there for, I wonder?
Well, let me just check. No, the batteries are dead.
Oh, blimey, we are coming into land.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think we just crossed through a level of detail threshold. Are you familiar with the term ground rush, Jez?
I am not.
If you parachute, and there's no reason to, I wouldn't advise parachuting. There's a moment where you when you first step out of the aeroplane, there's the flaps going up. A bit them curtains tonight. Yeah, when you first sort of jump off the aeroplane. Oh, hang on. I've got to do something silly now.
That's right. I've got this part.
You're clapping for him.
That segued beautifully. You didn't hear that, Jess. You didn't hear that.
Oh.
But that segued beautifully into the clap sound effect. It was perfect as well because you had Steve Buscemi saying, "You're clapping for him. Don't clap for him." So yeah, that's my Steve Buscemi impression. It needs work.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it in one piece. We are now in Halifax.
Safety and comfort. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Yes,
This
pal.
will indicate that we have parked at the gate and that it is safe for you to get up. Cellular phones may be used now.
Is it too late to have another pee? Because I rather bolted that orange juice and it's gone straight through me. Hello? No, she's gone.
Isn't it illegal to pee on a plane when it's landed?
Is it? It's actually illegal.
I don't know. Well, they don't let you pee at a station on the train,
These
do they?
days, Jez. These days, Jez. These days. They'll lock you up for peeing on an aeroplane whilst it's landed.
Well, you know, simpler times that they were when we used to be able to do all that sort of thing.
Voice actor Bennett Foddy there as the pilot. I didn't know that.
What else has he been in?
He's been in the game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, Jez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that game. Yeah. Lovely landing it was, wasn't it? But a much shorter flight than was advertised.
Yes, we've.
Do you think?
How do we string this on for 29 minutes?
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Halifax Stanfield International Airport.
Oh.
Local time, 5.
See, this is a part on an airplane where it gets very competitive very quickly. You know, you want to be off the plane really quickly, and you're eyeing all of the other passengers up. Am I talking over like a PA or something?
No.
And then you're ready to go. You think you're going to make it out, and then the person on the aisle seat lets everybody past.
On behalf of myself and the rest of our hardworking crew, would like to thank you for choosing Pan Atlantica on your trip today. We know you have a choice of carriers, and we appreciate you choosing Pan Atlantica today. We'd love to see you on board again soon. In the meantime, have a wonderful stay.
I think that's part of the airline experience, really. You know, very rarely do you arrive somewhere late.
Ooh, we just unlocked 3 achievements. I think we must have had the wind behind us. I think that's what it was. They'll often say that due to a tailwind, we'll be arriving 15 minutes ahead of schedule at Luton, where the local weather. We're flying from Leicester, where the local weather is a bit nippy. So, if you happen to have your cardigans ready, we'd advise putting them on as soon as the plane has come to a complete standstill.
Of course, that's part of the adventure. You know, I don't put me coat or me cardigan on because I'm Wellard, you see.
You're Wellard. You're the dog from EastEnders.
Yes,
Which is a soap opera, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yes. Now, Jez, I understand that you're quite a big fan of the soap opera Emmerdale.
Yes, Emmerdale.
We got the Doves there, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Expertly timed. He beat me to it too.
When did it all go wrong?
Well, rather interestingly, a plane crash really reformatted the show, and then of course it used to be Emmerdale Farm.
Yes.
And you know, I don't know if that was something to do with politics or something else like that, but they dropped the farm.
They did.
And if you ask me, they dropped the quality. It wasn't. Well, it's a mere shadow of what it used to be, you know.
I think the rumor at the time was that because I suppose what they were trying to do with Emmerdale was create a TV version of the Archers. Now the Archers, an everyday tale of farming folk, which itself was supposed to be a farming Dick Barton. Dick Barton being a radio show about a detective. So the Archers, which was designed to relay important information to agricultural workers. That's like legit, that was its original purpose. We're doing some more taxi. So I suppose Emmerdale Farm was supposed to be like a TV equivalent of that. They thought, there's a market here, because the Archers, very popular amongst certain Radio 4 listeners. And so I suppose that ITV Emmerdale, isn't it? I suppose they wanted. They thought there's a slice of pie for us there, I'm sure. But I suspect what happened was it got a reputation for being quite a sort of dull and stuffy program. I think it was largely seen as just the two blokes running the Woolpack. Having almost like a little sitcom in a way that you'll often get sort of sitcom couples in soap operas, and it's great as well when that happens because then they'll do like a really serious storyline with them. I think that's what happened was that actually I think we're not doing ourselves any favours here by focusing on the farming. So they dropped the farm to sort of potentially broaden the scope out a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the darkest days in 1989 when that happened.
Yeah. Was it as long ago as 89?
Yeah, that's when they dropped the farm and it just became Emmerdale, yeah.
It's not when they dropped the plane, though, was it?
No, I think that came later. I can't remember when.
I feel like I was at university. I think it was 93. Don't quote me. But I got a feeling it was 1993 when that happened.
That feels right.
Yeah.
But you just mentioned the Archers, and it's a fun fact, and this is everybody in chat will feel much better knowing this, but today marked the 70th anniversary of June Spencer. She's been doing the show The Archers for 70 years.
Good Lord. Imagine that.
Imagine listening to it for 70 years.
The other passengers are real people. Are they? Look, there's Ed Lewis. He keeps cropping. I think what it is. I think there's like an asset. I think there's an asset of a. Oh no! Because it was an elite, wasn't it? There was. I think we. I'm gonna have to think now. Anyway, I keep seeing elite. I keep seeing Ed Lewis in games, in video games. It's peculiar. And they're not even Bethesda games.
I keep seeing him on streams as well. I saw him on one in October quite recently, yeah.
Oh, yes, I suppose you did. Ed Lewis had a bit of a cameo in the Halloween special. Just a little something we managed to arrange, as an Easter egg for long time viewers. M. Curtains, when I say don't quote me, that's not an invitation for you to add. You even included the bit where I said don't quote me.
That's got to be the best quote.
I think half of the quotes end with me saying don't quote me. But that's fine. That's fine, M. Curtains. You do you, as they say. Janine says she went to Lanzarote and it was meant to be 4 hours and they managed to knock an hour off. Luggage was safe. It was very confusing. Yeah.
It's kind of like programming. When you've gone for a flight that's been effortless and no dramas and you've got everything in your bags are perfectly packed when you get out off the plane, you feel like you've done something wrong. You feel, where's the catch?
Yeah, you've got to pay for it. What can happen, of course, is depending on your route from the airport, often you just lose any advantage, and you just end up with an extra hour at basically the worst end of the airport, which is arrivals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not where all the fun stuff is. The fun stuff's departures, isn't it? That's where all the fun stuff is.
Yeah, the excitement, you get frisked, and you have to tip all your little bottles out and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
You feel like you're heading for the firing squad when you go up to customs. Those people never have a good day. They just got to sit there. I've never seen one crack a smile.
No, very serious people doing a very serious and important job.
Yes.
Millstone Barn says that October stream. That's my stream, Jess. That October stream was absolutely fantastic. I don't think we've got to the bottom of everything yet. Possibly not. Although, I was quite surprised that the nature of the code on the wireless, or the origins of it, didn't become apparent. Because there was a big clue in a stream recently as to what that was about. I can say no more. But yeah.
Well,
passengers had their names in the credits. Oh, maybe they're scanned, or those are the voices. Because I think sometimes you get chatty people.
I would like it to be known that, like the Queen's birthday, we should have like a new Halloween, like 2 Halloweens a year now. If it means that the mystery becomes a little less tangled.
Well, we could revisit the world that we opened up.
Goodness. I
know we've sort of talked about possibly getting Needle back on. That's something we could do. I'm not quite sure. I just quite like the idea of doing a 2-hour Needle stream.
I think Needle would be a better collab guest than who you've had on tonight.
Oh, shush. You've been exemplary. Hasn't he been exemplary, everybody? Exemplary. Exemplary. Yeah, exemplary. Hasn't he been good? Hasn't he been a good guest? He has been a good guest.
Didn't he do well?
Didn't he do well? Who was that? Somebody? I think it might have been you, actually. No, it wasn't. It was Angry Puppet did an impression of someone, and it was basically just Bruce Forsyth. And I do love it when somebody goes to impersonate somebody, and it's clearly just an impersonation of someone else.
Yeah.
Jess has been awesome, and that's M Curtains,
M Curtains.
So you can take that to the bank. Yeah.
Oh, I got to pull myself together.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, we're not clear. This reminds me as well of, and I don't know if you had this, but did you have big assemblies at school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they still do them. And you're 22 or something, and yeah, you'd have to sort of lead out of assembly 1 year at a time.
Yes,
because otherwise there's just a child destroying crush at the doors. So it's perfectly understandable, but that's sort of slightly agonising.
A children's tsunami.
Yes. Yes, we still haven't. I was going to say we could have thank you, Jez, but then I realised that's as I was saying.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the format. Basically, if somebody we're trying to get to the bottom of this, but basically that the feeling that one has when a famous person dies, because it's sadness. It's definitely sadness. But I sort of feel that grief's a bit strong, and it's even if they've been in our lives in a big way on the screen or on the radio or whatever. There isn't a personal relationship there. So when somebody passes on, it's kind of like it's not. And it took me quite a while to work out what it was that I wanted to express when someone passed on of that caliber, of that ilk. And it was gratitude. Ultimately, it was gratitude. So occasionally you'll see in the flavor text at the end of the episodes, you'll see thank you, and then whoever. So it was thank you, Chuck, for Chuck Yeager recently. So yes, so putting thank you, Jez, is sort of like, he's not dead. He's not dead. Jez isn't dead. He's still very much with us, and long may he be. Yeah, long may he be. Yeah, yeah.
Preceding a ban in the chat channel.
Yeah. So I'm just weighing the options up. Yeah. No, I think you should. I think you should go on being in the world. Yeah. So
I plan to.
Please, I know. I'm going to type it out, but I'm not going to say what it is because it'll ruin it. I've got something. It's not brilliant.
It's like the game that I play every time at the beginning of stream, trying to guess.
Balls.
Yeah. And even though they never change.
Yeah, it's fun. I did. I did look at possibly one day, but oof is all I can say.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's an easy thing to wrangle.
It's an easy thing to do in terms of changing it, but it's hugely difficult to render because I almost want to sort of go back and completely recreate the scene because I think I could make it a lot more optimal than it is, but it's a long old render. The reason why it's in Eevee is to just bring it down a bit. It didn't bring it down that much. Oh no, it would help if I used all of the words in that sentence. Okie doke. Full stop on or off, do you think?
Be a devil. Put it in. It's almost Christmas.
I'm going to put it in. Yeah. Okay, so that's done. Rafi! Welcome to the stream, Rafi. Can we get a shout out for Rafi Plays? How was your flight? It was very smooth. We had chap in the row in front of us kept sort of trying to sneaky peeky at me. I think he recognised me. I think that's what it was. Or Jez. Might have been Jez. Although I think his view of Jez wouldn't have been as... I don't think he had a clear view of Jez. But he had a clear view of me because he kept using it. Yeah. But yeah, we arrived in Halifax in one piece. How did you feel the flight went, Jez?
Well, that's the most comfortable flight I've ever had. It's certainly the first time I've ever had my doorbell go off in the middle of a flight.
Oh, it arrived then?
Yes, it was right in the middle of when he was telling me an interesting story, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Fair enough. I get that a lot. While you're telling me this, I'm just going to leave the room. Did you get a window seat? I always get a window seat, Rafi. Always.
Now, don't you have something interesting coming up this weekend that's also travel-related in a weird way?
In a weird way, I suppose it is. Yes. Thank you for that smooth prompting.
Queuing you up in your own stream is very polite.
Thank you. He's at it again. Rafi Plays, and I think Stephen the Demon, probably Stephen the Demon, or Sal, and Oz, and myself. We're going to be taking on Star Trek Bridge Crew. And now I'm not going to be streaming it because I want to play it in virtual reality with Da Boys. A lot of I don't know if I've mentioned this before, Jez, but a lot of my friends are puppets. They just happen to be puppets. I consider myself a puppet ally.
You hang in with a rough crowd.
No, I wouldn't say they were rough. Well, Stephen a bit, and Rafi has occasional homicidal tendencies, but usually only in Fall Guys.
Well, who doesn't?
It's a fluff crowd. It is a fluff crowd. Yes, I think I get honorary membership because of my luxurious beard. Yeah.
Honorary membership with no strings attached.
Yeah. Sorry. So sorry. I'll finish this. I heard a joke earlier today, and I want to share it with you. Ivor Cutler. It's an Ivor Cutler joke. I think he says it was one of Freud's favourites, but I'm not entirely sure. And it might be quite a nice thing to round off the stream with, if that's okay with you, Jez.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. But yes, we'll be streaming on the Oddball Show, Rafi Plays, and Myth House on Twitch, but not on the Jack Little channel. Just on those three. We'll host over on our site.
Existentialist.
He is indeed Joe Show Live. He is indeed. Homicidal tendencies. Hidden from Robot Wars. Really? Well, possibly. Suicide. I see. Yes, so, anyway, these two chaps, let's call them Tim and Tom. Okay, Tim is walking along with Tom. Tom is blind. No, actually, they haven't got names. Two men are walking along, one of whom is blind. It's quite a hot day, and the non-blind person says, I could really go a glass of milk right now. And the blind man says, what's milk? What's milk? And the man says, well, it's a white liquid. And the blind man goes, well, liquid I know, but what's white? Oh, it's very bright. It's like the colour of a swan's wing. Yes. And the blind man goes, wing. I know what wing is. In colour, I've got a sort of vague understanding of what a colour is. But what's a swan? And the man says, it's a bird with a bent neck. It's a bird with a bent neck. And the blind man goes, bird, neck. What's bent? What's bent? And the chap's getting quite exasperated now, so he goes up to the blind man and he grabs his shoulder, chap's shoulder in one hand and his wrist in the other, and he pulls them apart. He pulls them apart so the arm is out, stretched in front of him, and says, "That's straight, yeah, that's straight." And he pulls the wrist towards the shoulder and says, "That's bent." And the blind man goes, "Ah! Now I know what milk is." Isn't that delightful? Yeah. And I'm not quite sure why that's funny, but it's I roared when I heard it. I think it benefits from the sort of the dour Scottish delivery that you get with Ivor Cutler. But I think we're just supposed to. Are we? No, we're not. Okay, that's fine.
What are you going to name it?
What?
The new star. What are you going to name it?
Who cares? Don't bother.
They're making us wait on the plane like they do on real planes.
Yeah, I know.
An inexplicable amount of time.
It's crazy. We're going to be on 60 now. We're going to be on the 6 o'clock news. That's funny because I don't. Is that still a thing? I don't think that's still a thing, is it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Who's watching news at 6? Ludicrous idea. Everyone seemed to be quite calm though.
Well, to be fair, the person next to us has been calm the whole flight.
Well, she's off her breasts on whiskey, so you know.
That's true.
She's fine. Oh, hello. I'm pretty sure she can hear us, you know.
In her mind, she's still watching Bugs Bunny.
Very clear body language there. She folded her arms and then she literally sank into her seat there. She is not happy. She is not happy. Hang on.
We're going to get Prout in a minute.
Not a happy camper. Not a happy camper. Oh, yeah, what's fun about this is... Hello? Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, maybe not then. Oh, no, there it is. Just.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah. It's not right. The framing's not right, but It's good. It's a good bit of work. Good bit of work.
Oh no, did...
Bom, 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 bom.
Oh,
They'll let us go soon, I'm sure.
the twist at the end, though.
Oh, I know, right? Sorry, what are we talking about now?
The bent neck and producing milk. I don't know.
Ah, oh yes, oh it's splendid. I think it's because you've. Oh, hello. Is that me? Oh, I knocked something over and disconnected myself. I think it's the fact that you've created this kind of ladder of reasoning between the milk and the definition of bent. It's sort of you end up with this sudden realization when actually you're 4 not particularly helpful steps away from understanding what milk is. Now, if the phone had a game on it called Airplane Mode, the phone does have a game on it, but I couldn't quite understand it.
Is it Snake?
It's not Snake. They missed a trick there.
Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to throw a post-it note. Oh, that's not a post-it note. What is that?
Oh, I think I can possibly unlock those. There's a stabby knife. No, stop doing that. No, that's what I want. I really don't understand. I'll show you what I mean. No. Yeah. See, it's a bit confusing.
Survive the zombie apocalypse by getting your bag out. Oh.
It doesn't help as well. If I can get the knife out of the bag, then I think I'm supposed to be redirecting him using the knife or something. It's not about killing him. Very strange game. Very strange game. I think the time has come, Jez. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you once again for making this our inaugural episode of Jack's Off on a Plane with. I think we're sticking to that.
Yeah, I bet we are.
Yeah, I think so. Excuse me a moment. But yes, the time is, and I hope as well at some point, Mr. Ron, thank you for that hurrah. You'll fly with us again.
Yes, definitely. It was certainly a happy ending, and
yes, it was. We clapped. We did. Much to my chagrin.
Much to your chagrin, yeah.
And Steve Buscemi's as well. So he happened to be here. But yes, I'm gonna go and find somebody to raid. Now,
I wonder if there's anybody else streaming this game.
I think there will be, but I feel that would be a rum thing to do to the viewer. Excuse me. The time just flew by. Writes Joe Show Live. Very good. Maniac Psycho, very descriptive. It tells you everything you need to know about the show Maniac Psycho, which is why it's such a good title.
Wouldn't it be great if we could find a game like Luggage Handler Simulator? And then people could be in...
Connect it all together.
Yeah, so...
That'd be pretty good.
M. Curtains, that is so true in so many ways.
Oh, this is why it's a waste of time. Not the game. The using the stream manager to raid somebody. It just makes it needlessly complicated. Hang on. Oh, but at least you're allowed to sort of follow through and actually go in with the raid as well, which is a new development, I think, when they first rolled it out. Anyone playing Line Simulator to experience queuing for your luggage? Ah, that would be perfect. To be honest, I'm surprised there isn't. We'll do some research. Maybe there is a game based around that, because I'm sure there's an object recognition nonsense that could be had with such a concept. So who will we rate? I think we'll keep it as we are both seasoned elite dangerous streamers. I think we'll keep it in the family. So should we give Buck Rabbit a raid?
Oh, Buck Rabbit's a good chap.
He is good people. Yes. So let's just key that into the ordinator. Yep, that's good to go. And I suppose even when we're off on a plane, we will finish with the joyous thing, if I can find the button, of the end screen, and do our thank yous. You can tell I've not got OBS up because I'm not shot. That's better. That's better. So we have many lovely thank yous to make tonight. I'm glad to say. I would like to thank. Who should I thank? Oh, WK Jez. You kept that quiet. You gifted subs to Sheen Bellow and Millstone Barn. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing that. They'll be up to their necks in emojis before long. Also, like to thank Anonymous Person for gifting subs to Christopher Throbbin, Crispy Tater Top. I'd like to thank M. Curtains for gifting 5 subs to Shanine, NG Deluxe, Jack Little Skimp, Freaky Eyes, and the Joe Show Live. I'd like to thank Joe Show for hosting, Paolo Lawson for resubscribing, and Maniac Psycho for hosting. And again, I'd like to thank Jez for joining us on this maiden flight. And I'd like to thank as well N. Curtains and Orange Spark for moderating, and Steve Kirby for making me the man I am today. We will be back on Sunday. I'm not sure what with yet. It's all up in the air. Maybe Fall Guys, because we didn't get to Fall Guys last time we were going to Fall Guys. Maniac Psycho, thank you very much for that subscription. Just in under the wire there. Thank you very much. Yes, so we will be back. We will be back on Sunday, possibly with Fall Guys, because I've got to get me them crowns, baby. But until then, fly safe, and I shall see you in the black.